Chapter 2. Strickler went silent once Jim knocked. As Jim waited for Strickler to answer, he collected himself. One wrong move, and he could put everything in jeopardy. From his time training with Strickler, Jim remembered how to lie to a changeling. More specifically, how to lie to Strickler. It's time to give Strickler a convincing half-truth. It was time to put the hours he spent agonizing over things to use. "Come in," Strickler said on the other side of the door, with a cool touch of arrogance to his voice. Slowly, Jim opened the door, poking his head through. "Hey, Strickler, you said you wanted to talk?" "Young Atlas!" Strickler stared at him, wide-eyed, standing from his desk. "Of course, please, take a seat. Pardon my surprise. When I suggested a talk, I wasn't expecting to see you after hours until parent-teacher conferences." Jim nodded, doing as he was directed by Strickler, moving his school bag to his lap so he could keep his leg from twitching, carefully monitoring his tone as he spoke. "There was just something on my mind that I wanted to talk to you about before you met my mother. Things I feel you should know that I don't want you to tell her." Strickler fidgeted with his pen as he sat back down, his perfectory tone and attitude sliding off him, showing the face and emotions of a teacher who truly cares about the student in front of him. Jim always wondered how Strickler could do that, but now is not the time for him to marvel the old habits of a changeling. "Of course, young Atlas, you can tell me anything, and I promise it will stay between us." Jim nodded, holding his bag tight before loosening his grip, and cautiously shared his worries. "There is this girl I like, Claire. I think she is the most amazing person in the whole world. I'm thinking about joining the school play so I could get to know her a bit before asking her out. But I'm worried about my mom. Because of her long hours working as a doctor, she sometimes struggles to make sure she gets her meals in. It's not like she doesn't know how to cook, but she isn't very good at it, and..." He took a deep breath, slouching back on the stool, gathering the rest of his thoughts, slowing down before he starts rambling. "I'm worried that with such a big commitment as the school play, I won't have time to make meals for her. To me, it's a great way to show I love her, but I wonder, would I be abandoning her like my dad if I'm not able to be there for her?" Strickler set his pen aside as he pushed his chair back, making eye contact with Jim. "Well, that is certainly a conundrum. But I have a follow-up question for you. Did your mother ask you to do this for her? Or did you volunteer to do this yourself?" "I volunteered. My mom was so sad when Dad left. I just wanted to make her smile." "And did you accomplish that end?" Jim nodded. He saw her smile every time she ate. Whenever he or she came home, he saw his mother finally happy. Up until Strickler died, he saw his mother happy. "Well then, seems you have accomplished your mission several times over. You deserve some time to gamble. After all, you're only a teenager. I am sure your mother would be proud of you being in the school play, especially if you get to the part of Romeo." Jim pretended to be surprised. You think I could get that part? I think you can, with the right audition. Strickler stood and faced his bookshelf, looking through them until he found the right one. Miss Janet isn't exactly quiet in the break room. She is planning to cast Miss Claire as Juliet, which means for you to have ample opportunity to get to know her, you must get the part of Romeo, Jim. Jim nodded, keeping the mask of a clueless teen on his face. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Luckily, I know how you could have the best chance at winning the role if you're interested. Jim nodded. He tried to audition for Romeo when Ungar the Unfortunate showed him what would have happened if he weren't the troll hunter. He auditioned the same way without the armor, and he lost the part to Steve. He could not let that happen. How would I do that? I'm not sure my idea would work. Miss Janet is addicted to drama. Therefore, your best shot would be a dramatic reading from her favorite Shakespeare play, Henry V. Strickler found the book he was looking for and flipped through the pages until he found the monologue he wanted. A decent costume wouldn't hurt either. I don't have a decent costume. I don't even know where to start with one. If you like, I have an associate with an extensive cosplay closet. I could procure one for you to borrow for the audition. That would be great, Strickler. Thank you. My pleasure, Jim. Strickler finally found the page he wanted and wrote something on a piece of paper, handing it to Jim. Just memorize this and stop by the classroom tomorrow after school. With this and making a dramatic entrance, the part is all but yours. Jim stood up, taking the sticky note and placed it in his bag. Will do. Wish me luck. Of course, Jim. With an excellent strategy, even luck is an ally. With that, Jim left the high school, putting the sticky note in his pocket. Jim checked the time while he approached his bike, plotting his next move. If one thing never changed from his last 3 years, it was that he was terrible at keeping secrets without someone to confide in. The sooner he could find an ally to confide in, the better. Strickler is still with the Janus Order, so he is out, along with Nomura. Heck, he doubted they would believe him. Barbara was out, as she would likely send him to a therapist. He would need to earn both Claire and Vendel's trust before telling them, which would take too long to do so. Blinky would believe him without a thought, but that level of trust belongs to a holder of an amulet, so it would take time to earn his trust too. Palchuk is a pill until he gets his act together, so that's out. Eli is too suspicious and is better off being told when he is close to figuring it out. Aja and Krell aren't on planet quite yet, at least Jim doesn't think so, but he will check on his way home. Merlin would be the best option if he wasn't in a coma, which leaves only one he could share secrets with. He's a Dukes, aka Dukesy. With the time it is now, Dukesy should be at the cafe. Thus, Jim set off on the next part of his mission. Tell he's a Dukes.